Second game up is the San Diego Fleet at the San Antonio Commanders. I actually went to this game. I messed around and got some tickets, so I was like, hey, I'll make this 3-hour drive and go up here and see it. And I'm glad I did. Absolutely glad I did. The San Diego Fleet ended up losing 6-15, and it was just a straight up defensive battle the entire time in that game. There was some big hits. Like, I'm not gonna put the hit on this actual video because I'm pretty sure it'll get copy striked by the Alliance in an instant, but it's all over social media. It's all over ESPN. That massive hit on Mike Bercoach. I can never say this guy's name. Mike Bercovici or whatever his name is. He just got lit up the entire game. He just got lit up. So if you can find that clip, just look for AAF big hit on YouTube or somewhere. I'll probably find it and link it to it in the description, but dude got hit. But Mike Bercovici, he went 15 of 25 for 176 yards. He had 2 interceptions. During the entire game, everybody in the stands, even the San Diego Fleet fans that were there, were just like, dude, replace him. Like, get him out of the game. After those hits and those couple of interceptions, it just looked bad. Well, the head coach, I guess he was thinking the same thing. So Mike got sat down. Philip Nelson came in. He went 5 of 10 for 68 yards. He threw 1 interception, but it was like at the end of the game, it sealed the game. But he was also named the starter going forward for the San Diego Fleet. So I think maybe Mike Martz saw some upside too, having Philip Nelson in there. For the San Antonio Commanders, Logan Woodside, you know, he ran this whole thing. I mean, he went 18 of 36 for 225 yards, but his production in that first half was not really there. He had 2 interceptions as well. For the San Diego Fleet, their rushing was actually, they were trying it, but that defensive front for the San Antonio Commanders was not letting it happen. Jaquan Gardner, he had 8 carries for 55 yards, his longs were 25 yards, and Philip Nelson, that's the name that kept flashing the entire time during the game. He had 3 carries for 20 yards, and his longest was 11. For the San Antonio Commanders, the guy that I thought was actually going to have a great game, Kenneth Farrell II, he was quietly shut down. He had 14 carries, 37 yards. His longs was 6. He had the touchdown, the only rushing touchdown of the game, but he was just completely shut down the entire game. And he just got lucky that when they bounced it out to the outside, all the holes were just open right there. Aaron Green was actually more productive. He had 6 carries for 43 yards. His longest was 21. So I'm thinking that possibly Mike Riley's going to start rotating those 2 guys in back to back. David Cobb also had 9 carries for 36 yards for the long of 10. So I think there's going to be a running back by committee if Farrell doesn't get on his game, especially with the Apollos coming in next week. They're going to have to really make sure they're sharp, especially if those Apollos that played against Atlanta show up next week in San Antonio, they're going to have to be really sharp. Receiving wise, the big name we kept hearing for the San Diego Fleet was Gavin Escobar. He used to play for the Dallas Cowboys. He had 4 receptions. He was targeted 6 times. He kept dropping passes. 66 yards, longest was 26 yards. Brian Brown, he had 5 receptions for 7 targets, 66 yards again. His longest was 29. No receiving touchdowns for the Fleet. Same thing, no receiving touchdowns for the Commanders. Mikael McKay had 5 receptions, 12 targets though, 80 yards on the day with 22 in his longest. Alonzo Moore had the longest reception for the San Antonio Commanders. He had 3 receptions for 5 targets, 78 yards. The story for these 2 teams though was their defense, because during that first half, like, those defenses were just stout. Like, man, they were hitting. Like, I'm talking about hitting. For the San Diego Fleet, Demontre Moore had 5 tackles, 4 solo. He had a pass deflection. Ryan Moeller balled out. He had 5 tackles, and he created all 5 of those tackles by himself. He had 2 pass deflections, and he had 1 interception. Then Ron Brooks also he went 3 of 3. He had 2 pass deflections and 1 interception. So everybody's getting picks out here, baby. Like, if you're watching these games, especially in that Iron game, there's picks galore. For the Commanders, Ryan Stewart had 4 tackles. He had 4 solo tackles. He had 2 pass deflections and an interception. Darren Smith went 3 of 3. He had 1 pass deflection. And Devontae Bosby, 3 of 3. He had 2 pass deflections and an interception as well. So, like I said, there's interceptions galore. With the quarterback play that we're going to be seeing in this league, for maybe the next 2-3 weeks, we're probably going to see these guys slowly get under command, and no pun intended, but slowly get comfortable in that pocket with the new system, with the new play clock, because it is shorter, and with these O linemen that's slowly melding together, because they had 30 days to get these teams together. So we're going to see these guys finally settle it down, but until then, these DBs are going to look amazing. My offensive players for the Commanders, I'm going to give it to Logan Woodside. I mean, it's a QB, but actually, no, scratch that. I'm going to give it to Aaron Green. Yeah, I'm going to take it from the quarterback. I'm going to give it to the running back. 6 carries, 43 yards, as long as 21. Yeah. Even though Kenneth Farrell scored the touchdown, I'm not gonna give it to him. He didn't earn it. For the defense, I got to give it to the winning team. I'm gonna give it to Ryan Stewart. He had the 4 tackles. He had the 2 pass deflections and an interception.